Before we start getting into any kind of painting or lessons or classes, I thought it would be a great idea to add to the website a bit of basic color mixing. You could probably Google it and find lots of information online, but I'm going to go into it without too much talk about theory. We're just going to talk about the primary colors, which are red, yellow, blue, and then the two shades that add value to these primary colors are black and white. And then as we add them in and we make our new colors with them, what you'll see is that you could probably do an entire painting with just these 5 paint tubes if you wanted to. So let's get started. I'm going to add the first color. This is called Process Magenta, but it is red, onto my palette plate here. And next we're going to add the yellow. Cap's a little tight, gets used quite a lot. And then my favorite shade of blue is called Phthalo Blue. I love it for its richness and for its strong intensity of color. Another blue that if you're looking at building a palette to add is ultramarine blue. That is one that many artists use. It's a softer blue. It's a little more realistic. So these are our 3 primaries. And now I'm going to put a little bit of white here. And I might actually, I'll leave it open because I might pull out more. And a little bit of the black. My tubes are a little tight, sorry. There we go. And actually, let's put a little more white. And with my brush, I'm going to wet it a little bit. Always have paper towel handy too when you're painting. Paper towel and a little bit of water in a jar are your best friends. So first we're going to start by mixing red together with yellow. And red and yellow together make orange. That is basic color mixing with the primaries. And many people do know this, but surprisingly, many also don't. So here's a beautiful orange. And then when we take this orange and we add a bit of white to it, what you see clearly is how the shade starts to change. There. Now if we take this same orange, I'll mix up a little more. Again, add our red and our yellow to make our orange. Here, nice dark rich orange. But now we're going to add a tiny bit of black, and black is very intense, so never go too heavy with the black. And see how that starts to really change that color. And then of course if you feel like it's too dark and you want to add a bit of orange back into it, but there you go. That's a lovely night sky with the sun just still peering at the top for a sunset. And now red and blue together will make our purple. And I'll do it on the white paper here so you can see this beautiful rich purple that the Phthalo Blue and the Process Magenta make. And I don't think I would add black to that purple, to be honest, in a painting, but I will do it here just so you can see what happens as you add in the black. And the purple does get lighter and lighter as you add in more and more white. So we'll grab a little more of the purple and just a teeny bit of black. And you can see already how much it starts to darken. There. And then if we add white to that, you'll see that this tone of the purple is different. It's more of a grayish purple because the black is in it as well. So it's a fun thing to do, to just kind of sit and combine your colors together and mix them and prepare them as you start a painting. And then the next shade we put together are yellow and blue to make a beautiful green. And then after we're done mixing our colors, we're going to have a little chat about complementary colors. So here's our green on the white. That is a beautiful green mixed with the phthalo blue, and it's cadmium yellow medium hue is what I'm using if you wanted to know the exact shade of yellow. And then we add in our white to lighten up the green. And then of course you can always do different things with it, like adding a little more yellow to yellow up your green and warm it up a bit like that, and you see the difference in what you can create. And now I'm going to add a little black in there too. Again, just to keep showing how the colors intensify as you change the shade. Beautiful, beautiful green. Tiny bit of black. You never need a lot of black. That wasn't enough though. But I'd rather start with a little than go too much. There we are. And that darkens up the hue of the green, like that. And that is the colors of the color wheel in a nutshell. Red, yellow, blue, mixed in to make orange, purple, and green. And I do have some examples of color wheels here as well. So you can see, this isn't a children's coloring book. It's a very, very basic coloring wheel. And you see your red, your yellow, your blue, and all around what happens when you add yellow to the red, blue to the yellow, and red to the blue. There. And then the other thing we're going to talk about now is complementary colors. Complementary colors are the colors that are across each other on the color wheel. So when you mix them together, they will generally turn gray. It's a grayish brown, and that's a nice way to add shade to your painting without using a lot of black. Black tends to be a little harsh, so I'm going to go ahead and show you what happens when I mix yellow here with purple, because yellow and purple are across from each other. So we're going to make some more purple now. Oh, my brush is getting dirty. Let's try that one more time. I'll try to just grab a bit of yellow there. That's better. And mix it with, you have the blue and the red. We're going to mix those. And then I'll do it here quickly. I don't think I have enough red in there. Let's try that again. Is that enough purple? It's a little too blue still. There we go. That'll be a better purple. That's much better. Okay, so now when we have the purple and we start mixing purple with yellow, what you start to see is that it starts to turn a little more gray. So you can do grayscales using these colors to keep them warm. It's a bit of a brownish gray. You can see that. And this basically works through the whole color wheel. So red and green are across from each other on the color wheel. They are the complementary color. Blue and orange are across each other on the color wheel. They are the complement. And then yellow and purple, which we just did, which you just saw. So that's a lot of fun. Now, if you go deeper into color theory, there's the triangle, a triad, which is basically the colors that make a triangle across from each other, and they combine very nicely together. And of course, there's the cools and the warms, and cools, you think of cool colors are anything that has shades of blue in it, which is the nice example right here. Warm colors are colors that you would think of that are in a fire. So the yellow, the red, the orange, those are warm colors, but I think we've covered just enough to get started and to give you a basic understanding of how colors blend and work together. Thanks for joining me.